Alright, so once your handle's all set up, what you want to do is you want to take the end here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be tapering the tips. Now, normally if you tried to taper a PVC pipe by shaving down the outside, what's going to happen is the moment you break this wall on the side, this becomes as strong as PVC this thickness should be. What will happen is that these two separate layers will become two separate layers, not connected by anything, and you'll try and flex this and you'll get lots of tension here, and then it'll just flop like a wet noodle up here. So what you want to do is you want to retain this edge here. This is what gives the pipe its strength. So what we're going to do is you mark these corners here, and we're going to mark 3/8 of an inch. On smaller bows I like to do 1/4 of an inch because I like the resulting end to be about 1/2 inch wide on smaller bows and about 3/4 inch wide on heavier bows like this. And you can see we go down 9 inches and then mark right at the center. Then you want to trace that line until you get a V like this. Then what you want to do is, using a saw, you want to cut this V out. You want it to be a nice clean cut. Because what we're going to do next is we're going to heat this tip up, and we're going to bring these two sides together like this to create our tapered tip. Alright, so I'm going to do the other side and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to heat mainly this outside area here, and then we're going to pull the tips together. So let's do that. Now you want to just kind of pull the tips together right off the bat to just kind of get it to where you want it to go. You don't want to heat this area too much. What's going to happen is that these parts are going to roll over and this part is going to get weak. So you want to keep that portion strong. Alright, so once you can feel it kind of get soft, just pull it away from the heat and then just squeeze the tip like this. You'll see that it's starting to settle into that shape. So you just want to heat it up a little bit. Like I said, you don't want to overheat this at this point. So So as you can see, when you hold it together like this, it starts holding its shape. So just want to make sure it's nice and soft. And then once it'll hold together, you want to take it off the heat. You just want to kind of clamp it in this area. Just make sure everything lines up. So once it lines up like this, you want to sight down the bow and just make sure that lengthwise this lines up. So here we are. Here's the tip. And then here's the other tip we did, how it holds together like this. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you an optional step to kind of seal this together. And then after that, we're going to put knocks on this, and then we're going to string it up. Alright, let's go do that. Alright, so the optional step I want to show you is we're going to put this 8-inch piece of 1.5-inch conduit, heat shrink tubing over this cut line here. So what you want to do is you want to take some contact cement and you want to just coat this center section here with contact cement. Just really quick. This will just help hold it into place. Hold it in place, you know. Alright. So then what you want to do is you want to slide this tip on just till you cover that seam right there. So now what you want to do is you want to turn on your heat gun, and then you want to start right about the middle here, So shrink the tubing, and then you just want to move outward. So now you want to go back to the middle. Again, you want to heat this. So there you go. And this goes ahead and this makes a nice smooth transition here. And what this is going to do is this is going to hold these two pieces together and just kind of reinforce the tip here. So we're going to do that on the other side, and then we're going to cut our nocks. Alright, so what you want to do, this is the back of the bow and the belly's on the other side. So what you want to do is right where this line comes up, because this should be an inch right here, you want to actually cut a 45-degree notch in here, going toward the belly side away from the back. So that's going to be your string groove. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So you just want to cut a notch on the side. You can see that there. And it's going to come around, it's going to meet up with the other side, and then you're going to cut a somewhat shallow notch. You want to make sure that when you look at the pipe here, that it's not cut, because it needs to have that connection. Otherwise, when you string this up, it's just going to pop right off. These notches on the side can be as deep as you need them to be, because these are really going to hold the string in. This is just a place for the string to rest, so it doesn't slip off. But you don't want that to be too deep, or this is going to be too weak. Alright, so we're going to do the other side, and then we're going to string this thing up, and then we're going to weigh it and see how everything. So yeah. Alright, so now that we've got our other string knot, what we're going to do is we're going to string this bow up. So go ahead, put yourself inside of it. Bring the tip down. Okay. Alright. Now that we got the string on, here's our bow. Check it out. It's a bow. Look at that. Good 6-inch brace height. Now this, it's kind of short still a little short, but this is a longbow. So, just want to show you guys, this is the first time stringing it, so if you look at it, you can see that it's nice and balanced, you know, it's got a nice curve right here from tip to tip. So what you want to do is you want to locate the side that's bending just a little bit more. Okay, that would be this side. So this is going to be the top of it. So what you want to do is, if you can see here, you see the middle marker, you actually want to grip the bow around the middle mark here. And that's going to be where you grip the bow. So, I'm going to show this to the best of my ability to try and capture as much of this bow as possible. And we're going to draw this thing fully. So, there we go. And I have to say, this thing feels like a real beast. So, next I'm going to show you how to weigh this thing. So we're going to weigh this up on the scale. I'm going to show you guys how that is. Alright, so here we go. Here's your finished bow. It's a nice long bow. Not even going to guess the weight yet. I'll leave a complete surprise for you guys. So here you go, drawing it up again. So now let's weigh it up and see what it does. Alright, so here's my tillering tree. So the bow's on the tillering tree and the tillering tree is on the scale. So what you want to do with your scale is when you've got your tillering tree and your bow on it, what you want to do is you want to zero out your scale. And then once it's zeroed out, what you want to do is you want to take the bowstring and you want to pull it all the way down to your 28-inch mark. So pulling it down to 28 inches, we get 80 pounds. Alright, so then we bring it up. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys what this bow looks like when it's fully drawn. So let's take the scale over here, center the bow up, and draw it back. And here you go. This is the bow at 28 inches. If you can see, it's got a nice curve. It's also really heavy. Alright. So, here's our longbow, pulling 80 pounds. Alright. So there we go. Thanks for watching. Holy shit!